I'm Tim Holme, co-founder and CTO of QuantumScape. If you've been following us, you know that we talk a lot about what our technology can do for electric vehicles. But today we're going to talk about a different segment, one that's been growing rapidly and running into a lot of challenges that we think is a really natural fit for the technology we've built. AI is changing everything, and the data centers that power AI are hitting some fundamental limits around power and safety. So today I'd like to welcome Shahar Noy, who leads our new AI data center strategy, to discuss how QS can help address these pain points. Shahar spent his career building the product strategy for hyperscale infrastructure, so there's no one better to walk us through it. Unless you've been asleep, you've noticed an exponential growth in AI and in data centers recently, and yet you chose to leave that industry, the epicenter of the industry in semiconductors, and join us. Can you tell us about why you made that choice?
Yes, absolutely. First, I'm super excited to join QuantumScape. I've been here for 2 months, and I'm amazed with the people and quality of technology that we're working on. And I feel super honored to work with a co-founder. It didn't happen to me very frequently. To your question, team, I've been 30 years in technology, 25 years in semiconductors, and 10 years specifically in semiconductor and systems for the data center. And what I enjoy the most is building. I'm thriving on disruptions. And throughout my career, I want to say I've been to almost any big cycle. I've been at Broadcom when we had to develop better broadband solutions when the internet boom happened because people ask for more bandwidth into their homes. I've been into the mobile revolution when we moved from a flip phone to a smartphone. I was at SanDisk and we had to reimagine how storage inside the phone would look like because the demand and the use cases evolved so rapidly. And most recently, I've been to Marvell when I want to say the revolution of moving to cloud compute happened. And for cloud compute to be successful, you need to have like a very efficient, customized solution. So I witnessed how you need to disrupt and find solutions to make cloud compute more cost effective. What I see today, fast forward to AI factory world, is that we need to rethink how energy flows within the data center. On one hand, we're going to get so much demand, right? GPUs, more AI workloads. At the same time, we're getting more supply. So someone needs to think on the in-between, how the pipe would evolve in between the two. And as someone who thrives and enjoy disrupting technologies, I feel that QuantumScape, with all the development that the team has done over the last couple of years, you have the right attributes, the right capabilities to help and reshape how energy flow within the data center.
Shahar, maybe you can explain to us the difference in power demand between the current and future AI data centers and the last few years worth of data centers that were built around cloud and conventional compute.
Yep. Great question, Tim, and let me try and explain it. So if you look into how you build data center, the smallest unit is the compute block. It can be a CPU for general compute or for cloud compute, or it can be a GPU for AI training or AI inference. Now you have to put those inside racks, and to create, I want to say, more meaningful performance, you need to put those racks in a cluster, which means I need multiple racks. In the cloud compute era, you can get so much out of a single compute. So installing one CPU, and the CPU was low hundreds of watts, which means, up to 200, 250 of watts, was good enough to establish kind of like, I want to say, a cloud data center capability. Now, when you move into AI training or AI inference, you have a GPU. GPU would be roughly 3x, right? Hundreds of watts more than a CPU. And going forward, it will be in the thousands of watts. Then you need to put this GPU, I want to say, in a very dense rack. We hear that the market going forward will have hundreds to 500s of GPUs per rack. And to have a basic model being trained, you need to put those racks in a cluster. So if you take the 3x between a CPU and GPU, you take those denser racks, which is another 3x, and you put it in a cluster, you do the math, you suddenly in a 50x more power demand in the AI world versus the cloud compute world.
Yeah, and AI models grow more powerful, more effective if they're trained on more data, which means more compute. So they're getting grouped into these super large clusters.
Correct. And it's just going to increase.
Yeah. And it's really interesting to me to note that now these data centers aren't measured in flops or compute. They're not measured in memory. They're not measured in networking. They're measured in megawatts and gigawatts. They're measured in how much power they use.
Yep.
So these AI buildouts are just staggering. I've heard the number $1 trillion of CapEx investment this year, like 35 Manhattan projects in today's dollars. And so as they're scaling up so rapidly, there are bottlenecks all over the place. I've heard about bottlenecks in compute chips, in memory, in power, even in electricians. You hear bottlenecks all over the place. Yet you have a somewhat contrarian view of where the bottlenecks are coming from in the future. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. I think the magic is always to look what's coming next, right? What's right around the corner. And you're correct. Like we had issues with semiconductors, with wafer supply. We had issues with memory, but the industry is catching up. At the same time, if you think of what's the demand of those GPUs going forward as an example, right? We see that in 5 years, GPUs alone will consume 5x more power. GPUs are being packaged in those racks inside the data center, and it's very dense. So the racks within 5 years will go up 8x in terms of power. So at the era of cloud compute, we talk tens of megawatts per data center. Now, at the era of AI, we're talking about hundreds of megawatts or even gigawatts. So the explosion on the demand side will continue to rise mostly on the power. At the same time, the supply is catching up. We're reading about more energy comes to the grid, gas, nuclear, coal, the traditional energy sources. We see innovation in new energy sources. We call them power island or mini grids, where you can see new type of generators or even hydrogen coming to the market. But from what I see, no one talks about how the pipe or how the connection between all of this energy is going to flow into those hungry GPUs down the road. And I think this is where we're most ripe for disruption.
So this pipe, and specifically the QS batteries, might help deliver, store energy, and then use the energy. So let's talk about each one of those. You've taught me that in the data centers, power used to be delivered at about 12 volts to power computer fans. Then it moved to 48 volts by essentially stringing together lead-acid starter batteries. Yet now it's moving to 400 and 800 volts, building on EV architectures. Yeah. Can you help explain that and how the QuantumScape battery might enable or participate in that?
Yeah. I think the need to move into an 800-volt architecture is critical. And what I see going forward is that if you leverage more advanced, I want to say energy infrastructure like 800 volt, and 800 volt was perfected ironically for EVs. In EVs, it's something we're very comfortable with. So you take this 800 volt transition, and now you reflect on it into the data center. What does it require? It requires a platform or packs that can support 800 volt. And we already demonstrated with the Ducati partnership and PowerCode that we can support those, I would say, high voltage platforms. In addition to that, there is an element of safety. So 800 volt doesn't necessarily make the data center less safe, but I want to say the risk curve or the risk profile move further inside the data center. So this is where solid state battery, what QuantumScape already demonstrated as safer cells, is critical for data center to continue and operate 24/7. So on the delivery part, safety is becoming very, very critical for data centers.
Right. And now in the storage, so the AI data centers are essentially selling intelligence as counted by or denominated by tokens. So to maximize their revenue, they want to maximize token production. And to do that, maximize the density of GPUs and utilization of those GPUs. So can you tell us about how the QuantumScape battery can help the GPUs get the power they need and be packed as dense as possible?
Yeah, excellent. So now we're moving from the phase of how we deliver the power, how we store. the power. If you look into the GPUs, like you said, the more GPUs I can have inside a data center, the more tokens I can generate. And the more tokens I can generate, the more intelligence I will have. Now, we're just in the first inning of AI, which means that models are still evolving, GPUs are still evolving. So what we will see down the road is that this demand will continue to grow, and you will need even more compute to generate better AI. I want to say cram more GPUs in a data center, you want to try and reduce, the space, right? It takes, when you put power supply units or even battery backup units. What's very special in QuantumScape, the ability to generate more energy per square millimeter, to be very, very competitive on watt hour per liter. I think we demonstrated it a few times. Give data center architect the ability to think, hey, how can I put more GPUs? I can cram more GPUs because now I have more space available thanks to QuantumScape.
Right. So then the third leg of the stool is using the energy. AI power demands are very spiky, a little bit like when a car driver steps on the gas and steps on the brakes, and the battery has to smooth out and fulfill all of the power demands second by second. So I've noticed even that Facebook in some of their code had this flag to start up kind of dummy workloads to smooth out the power demands that the GPUs had. So the ability of batteries to really sit in the rack at the last meter and deliver power exactly when it's needed is critical to maximizing the utilization of the GPUs, and also to make them efficient and not require a lot of extra power delivery by locating a buffer right there. Can you talk a little bit more about how the QuantumScape battery can help to use power and use the GPUs more efficiently?
Yep, that's a great topic. And I think this is one of the most critical challenges in this energy flow. And it will continue to evolve, right? As AI becomes more advanced, the workloads can be different and the power demand profile can also be completely different than what we see today. So at QuantumScape, I think we designed the discharge and charge capabilities of the batteries mostly to have a fast charge. But I think the byproduct is we also get a fast discharge. So if you place more advanced battery in a data center that can act as a discharger, which is basically an energy booster. So whenever the GPUs needs more power than what the grid can fulfill, right, the energy from the battery kicks in and basically help the GPUs to perform or to being utilized at peak. So I think this will become also very critical to, again, make sure the data centers perform 24/7 at max utilization. And I think this is where what QuantumScape pioneered will become more and more relevant as this problem will continue to intensify.
Thanks. So it's just been personally fascinating to me to watch the development and growth in AI. Ever since many years ago, we deployed machine learning models on our line to grade the quality of parts. And so it's really fun and interesting to think that we might not just be watching this from the sidelines, but we might be able to participate and contribute in some way.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Shahar. So this has been a great conversation, and I think it shows why we're so excited about this opportunity. My takeaway is that AI factories are increasingly power hungry. The battery technologies in today's data centers have real limitations, whether it's safety, size limitations, or performance gaps. And QuantumScape's solid-state lithium metal platform could address these gaps in a pretty unique way. The energy density, the power performance, and our non-combustible ceramic separator are a genuinely different value proposition for this market that can unlock performance jumps for the AI factories of the future. To the audience, thanks for watching our conversation today. We're looking forward to sharing more soon.